Hey, go ahead.
Our mission, Helping Parents Heal, is a nonprofit organization dedicated to assisting parents whose children have passed. Through support and resources offered, we aspire to help individuals become shining light parents, meaning a shift from a state of emotional heaviness to one of hopefulness and greater peace of mind. HPH goes a step beyond other groups by allowing the open discussion of spiritual experiences and afterlife evidence in a non dogmatic way. HPH affiliate groups welcome everyone, regardless of religious or non religious background, and encourage open dialogue. Attendance at this meeting is voluntary. We hope the participants will learn from and share with each other. Discussions here are confidential and not designed to replace traditional therapy or spiritual counseling. Zoom meetings run by leadership are not confidential. These meetings typically feature guest presenters and are posted on YouTube so that affiliate members worldwide can watch and benefit. Neither type of HPH meeting is designed to replace traditional therapy or spiritual counseling. Helping Parents Heal offers a wide variety of speakers, allowing parents to learn about many possible ways to heal. This includes presenters covering progressive topics such as afterlife evidence and connecting with children who have passed. The views expressed by our guest speakers may or may not reflect the opinions of Helping Parents Heal leaders and members, so we ask that you take from their presentations whatever may benefit you personally. Thank you, Elizabeth.
Thank you, Lisa. That was beautiful. And I'm going to go ahead and read LaVonne's bio so that you know a little bit more about her. She is fabulous. She is always the person that everyone gravitates to in a room. She's also done a TED Talk, so we have that on our website in case you would all like to watch that. She's also a shining light mom, just like us. But I'm going to go ahead and read a little bit about her. LaVonne Wells is a global speaker, love activist, and life and healing guide. She is the founder of Love on Awareness and believes grief was never meant to be a life sentence. Her mantra, "Where there is love, there is life," reflects her deep understanding that love continues after the physical. She can connect to spirit while providing compassionate understanding and insightful shares during a time of need. LaVonne's services are a rare find. She provides workshops, private and group sessions. They emerged because of the despair that she experienced after the passing of her daughter, Kiva. LaVonne's relationship with her daughter has grown and communication has increased by allowing her heart to heal and remembering that there is no separation in love. LaVonne Wells is a recurring guest for Good Things Arizona, or excuse me, Good Things Utah. We have the same thing here on ABC4 television and a global TEDx talk presenter. She continues to present as a speaker for Helping Parents Heal, offering insights and one of many realities as a possibility for looking at the passing of a loved one. I think that's really well written. Her presence is soft yet powerful. Those who gather with her often leave feeling seen, held, and reminded of their own strength. Her heart-centered approach invites others to remain open to possibility, knowing that love never dies, it simply transforms. And without further ado, please join me and Lisa Wilcoxon in welcoming beautiful LaVonne Wells. Welcome, LaVonne. I'm so glad you're here.
So glad you asked me to come. So before we get started, I just would like for everyone to just take a nice deep breath, just a quick inhale through the nose, out of the mouth. Maybe let's do that 3 times. And what we're doing when we're taking in that breath and exhaling that breath is we're letting go of the day and being fully present with what is right now, right in front of us. No to-do lists, nowhere to be, nowhere to go, just present right here and now. And we'll just go ahead and take those breaths. So breathing in through your nose and out of your mouth at your own leisure. on this last breath, I want you to exhale with an audible sigh. And some of you are not breathing, and it is your choice. But I would ask that you take a nice, cleansing, conscious third breath with all of us. Isn't that funny how we can just sense when people are breathing and when they're not breathing? That's because we're one, right? My name is LaVonne Wells Sandberg, as you see on my name there. I'm going back and forth with this Wells and Sandberg because I'm writing a book and deciding if am I going to do the whole name or am I just going to do LaVonne Wells? Am I going to have the anyway? It's a funny story, and we don't have time for that right now. But I'm originally from Boston, born and raised. I currently live in Utah, and I do this work full time. And currently, like I said, I'm finally, after 25 years, organizing the book. It's written, I'm organizing it. So my daughter has been really key, my daughter Kiva, as well as my children still here with me in physicality, that's been supporting, as well as my husband, and getting this book completed. So sometimes it takes a little while to get out of your own way, right? So I wanted to just share a little bit. I tell people my story about Kiva. I used to go into great detail, talk about everything, how everything happened, yada, yada, yada. And one day I was on the stage, and Kiva, every time I'm on the stage, her presence is right there with me. I know when she's ready to present with me. And she told me, "You've got 5 minutes to share our story and then get on with it, Mom." Because she says, it's not about me. It's not about you. It's about them. And it's about them remembering who they really are. And I thought to myself, well, we're assisting people. We got to tell the stories and go through that, that whole cycle of the words that we don't really use and with HPH, the loss and the grieve, but for just so that we're clear that anyway, I don't even know why give me a second. Give me a second. And this is being recorded. Oh my gosh. See, you can do this. You can be a TED talker or a TEDx talker. You can be on stages and you can fumble with your words, and it's okay. Because we're living in a day and age where we don't get to care about what people think about us anymore. So let me take a sip of water. And I love that freedom. And this is what our children are here to assist us with and to share with us the importance of letting go of what we think we know or what we thought we knew or what someone told us. Because a lot of times the beliefs that we're putting out there are someone else's. They don't even belong to us. Someone gave them to us. Systems, societies, someone said something to us and we made it ours, things like that. And as you began to step into really start questioning everything and everybody from the space of love, there's a difference. From the space of love, you start noticing newness and new ideas and new creativity in ways you've never thought you would ever express or experience. And one of the things that I asked before this call was, assist me, creator, whatever your source of your own understanding. Your source might be the ocean. It might be nature. It may be the creator. It may be God. It may be the divine mother. Whatever works for you. That's what's so brilliant about HPH is this is a non-dogmatic. Anyone and everyone is welcome. And as you step into that source of all that is, for me, the creator, I'm asking, what do they deserve to hear? What are they wanting to hear? What's going to serve their highest well-being? And when that happens, I just open myself up, my heart, to hear and just share that information with you this evening. So I believe that's the direction we're going. And that explains, and I want you to look at what happened. I wanted to go into the story a little bit, and all of a sudden, what am I saying? I need some water. So that is how your intuition kicks in, your soul kicks in, your natural knowing kicks in. When I gave it to the creator, it was like, we're going in this direction. It's the same with the signs from your children. It's the same with your connection with your children. 1 minute it's like, I want it to be like this. I want it to look like that. I need a sign because I'm really kind of losing it right now. I've been there, so I can say this. And something else would come, like a sign that you would never expect. But the simple fact that you opened yourself up to the possibility, open it up so that the grandiose of source can come in without any limits and show you that you're going to be okay, that your children are doing fabulous, that you're going to do just as fabulous as they are because they're not going to leave you. They're going to want to make sure that they show you from their perspective who you are. Because now they've got a whole full view. They know exactly who you are. And they're just like, what are they doing? And I always tell people that I've worked with in the past and present, I always say, I know we're still here left in physicality. So our vote is the only vote that really matters in the moment when we're going through it. However, the children are like, hey, I got a better way. I've got a solution to that problem you're having with my brother Bob or my brother John. You know, you're struggling and he's over there struggling and you're not aware of it. But I guarantee you, if you did this for yourself, it's going to assist my brother, your son, John or Bob in lining up in their lives. You see? So as we open ourselves up to the possibility that there's more, the more and the vastness and the abundance of it shows up. So a little bit about Kiva, not much. Got a timeline. She was born in 99. She transitioned, passed in on March 17th, St. Patty's Day in 2000. And she was born with something really rare. It's called McCune-Albright syndrome. Basically, her whole endocrine system was doing the opposite of its proper function. Eventually, everything began to shut down. One day, I left the hospital, wee hours of the morning, came home, went to sit on my bed, lay my head down on the pillow, and immediately I had a vision. So immediately, this light came in from the window, and I could hear all these voices. I wasn't asleep, and they were saying the same thing, and they were saying things in one accord, and they just came through, and they let me know that she was going to leave. For a long period of time, I was holding on to my faith. She was going to be healed, and that things were going to turn around. And as her mother, it was my responsibility to hold space for this child. And I had been on my spiritual path for quite some time. And so at that time in my life, I was a Reiki master. I was teaching Reiki. I was doing a lot of different things. And so my mindset was in a space of anything is possible. And I just get to hold and be positive and keep the faith and not negate in any kind of way that she was going to leave, because, you know, I don't want to be part of creating that. Oh, these stories that we tell ourselves, the story I told myself. But this visitation coming through, and in the beginning, I used to tell people they were angels, but now I know that they were simply light beings of love. And they were family members and ancestors, and it was a collective group. And they were saying the same thing. And they basically said, we know that you believe that she's going to be healed, and we know that you have faith, and we honor that, and we want to explain to you what's going on. She is going to leave. She stayed longer than she was supposed to. And it's very difficult for her to leave you right now, because now she's formed an attachment to you, meaning your hearts have merged. And they literally gave me a demonstration of it, like our hearts locking. And she was finding it very difficult to transition and pass from her physicality. And at this point, she was on life support. And they just wanted to acknowledge me. And they, I was sad. I went quickly into the grief process. And at the same time, my gratitude outweighed all of it because I know that not everyone gets this experience. And whatever our contract was between she and I, Kiva and I, this vision needed to happen in order for me to shift and be willing to be her voice and to be her advocate and to do everything in my ability to assist her in her transitioning process. And so everything was set up that way. And then when the vision left, I just remember crying myself to sleep, going back into the hospital, and one of the doctors pulled me aside and said, "It's my week. What do you want me to do?" They're going to keep experimenting with her because she became a case study. And they had never seen anything like this before. They didn't know how to deal with the McCune-Albright syndrome. All of her care came through NIH, National Institute of Health. And he said, there's nothing else that we can do. She's on 17 medications. They're just suppressing her condition. She's 5 months old. She's 5 pounds. Excuse me, correction, 7 pounds. What do you want us to do? And I said, I want her off all her medication, and I want to hold her, and I want her off life support. And so I shared that part of the story with you because that vision opened me up to a whole nother possibility that I could have ever fathomed. And because I was open to that possibility of something being different, and that it was time for me to take a breath, to release, to let go, other opportunities showed up, like the doctor. How is that? Fine-tuned symphony. And then the next step was second trip to the ethics board. This would be our second trip. And they all agreed that this would be the most humane thing that we could do for her. At this point in time, all of her organs were shutting down. She was on those 17 medications, like I said before. There was just a lot going on. And she was on morphine. So, it was time to let her go. And I know 100%, and I don't regret ever taking her off life support. And I had the opportunity to hold her, and she passed in my arms. She took 3 deep cleansing breaths when the time came, and she left from the crown of her head, and she was standing immediately at my side. It felt like fire. When people ask me, what did it feel like? It felt really hot, like fire. And she left through the crown of her head. And I remember placing her physical body back in the bed, observing it, because I just thought, this is like a clay. This isn't her. This is not her. And I remember gathering her things, walking out of the room, and I heard her clear as a bell say to me, "Wait for me, I'm coming with you." So I didn't leave her in the hospital. And she made sure I knew she was coming with and to wait for her. So, of course, there's more to that story. Just so many signs, so many miracles, so much. I thought I was on my spiritual journey. Oh my goodness. This took me to a whole nother place, a whole nother level of questioning, a whole nother level of connecting. I just believe there was just so much love there. That's why I was able to see and hear so clearly. I'm not a psychic. I'm not a medium. I don't do any of those titles. I tried those titles years and years and years ago because I didn't know what I was. I was just seeing stuff and experiencing stuff. So I was like, oh, I got to let people know that I'm this and I'm that. And it's like, no, I'm just love. You get the global speaker and the love activist because the world needs something, I guess, a point of reference, right? And just love. I don't need any titles. And the more that I'm willing to sit with myself over the years, the more I've been willing to acknowledge every sign that I receive and be in tune with that, the stronger my ability to connect and to my intuition is off the scales right now. And I believe that is for a lot of people right now, because there's so many shifts and so many changes that we're going through, and we're going through it at an accelerated rate. And so that's why I'm going to say this to you next. When you're willing to sit with yourself, a lot of times as humans, we want to go outside of ourselves to get something. We want to experience something outside of ourselves. Your greatest power and your greatest source is within yourself. And when you're right with the relationship with you, everything opens up, like everything expands. Your natural knowing, your intuition, your ability to connect. I look off when I'm not looking at you all. I look off. That's very intentional. Just so you know, it's very intentional. There's something going on, so I always do that. And everyone has their ways, right? And one of the things that I talk about a lot of times, everything that I'm sharing with you is only one of many realities. That's really important to be with that. No matter how many people that you speak to, no matter how many classes you go to, no matter how many workshops, no matter how many sessions you have, each one of those are one of many realities. And here's the beauty. You get to choose if you want to dip your toe in that reality. You get to choose if you want to dip your toe in that reality. And you know what that also does? It frees you up so that you don't have to judge anybody if you get something or heard something, doesn't make sense to you, you don't like it. It allows you to stand and sit in your power, be accountable for your own experience or what's going on in that moment externally. And so what we ask is that you be willing to go internal and hear what your soul wants to embrace and what your soul wants to tell you and what your soul wants to share with you. And the more that you're willing to go within, and part of the practice of going within is just when you get up in the morning, the last thing you do is touch your phone. You just simply want to wake up in the morning and take a breath before you even put your feet on the floor. And when you put your feet on the floor, maybe go to your favorite chair or sit up in your bed, whatever works for you. You want to get on your knees and you do the prayers, whatever works for you. And take those conscious breaths before you meet the day. And be willing to have a conversation with yourself and ask yourself, what are we to be about today? How are we feeling today? And how can I show up in such a way that we will be strengthened, that we will see clearly if there are signs for us to see around us? How do I show up in such a way that I truly begin to really like myself and love on myself, right? And the more that we do this, if we choose to, your vision, your ability to connect with yourself will catapult you with your ability to connect with everyone and everything if you so choose to. And that means your children. And that's great news. That's exciting. So remember, anytime you're talking to anybody or anything, going to any classes, any workshops, reading any books or doing any of that, you are experiencing one of many realities. And you get to choose if you want to take that sentence and have it work for your life, or take that whole chapter, have it work for your life, or simply close the book in love and come back to it later. But we always
LaVonne,
want to return home. Always want to return home. This is home. Always want to return home. Yes, Elizabeth.
could I ask you something? On April 18th, you posted an incredible video of you dancing. You'd had a hard day, and BJ, your husband, filmed you. And the orbs that are flying around you are just incredible. Would it be possible, because I could screen share and show people this incredible video, and then maybe you could tell us what was happening to you while this was going on? Is that something that you'd be willing to do?
Okay, if you want to see me in my headband and looking kind of,
No, you look beautiful, actually, but let me just see if I can do this, because I'm not
yes.
100% sure if I know how to do this.
If you can, go for it. Yes, that would be beautiful.
Okay, let me just
And
see.
just a little context behind that video. I had just found out 3 days prior that I had a very dear friend pass by suicide. And he was just in my home in January, and we were exchanging crystals and talking, you know, how we talk. And I was really sad about that, you know, and I was going, yep, there it is.
So, okay, let me just see. I need to get these off of here. Can anyone see this, or am I,
I can see it.
Yeah, we can
Okay.
see
Answer my
it.
prayers.
Make it big.
yes, I'm going to try to make it big. Here we go.
So I'm dancing there's music in my head, just so you guys know. That headband is music. Here they come. Here they come.
What are you doing?
Look at them
So
coming directly towards
right through my
PJ.
heart. Yeah,
All I
right
gotta
through
do
my
is
heart.
answer prayers. Woo!
In that moment, I was experiencing release. I was experiencing love and feeling not alone. I was, because I was so sad that night. And by the way, yes, you know, grief is not a life sentence. And and every time someone has transitioned since my daughter, even before my daughter, but especially after my daughter's transitioning, I had a brother transition, I had, you know, a mother, I mean, there's a lot of people that have transitioned in and out of my life from in different ways. It's always different with my heart. But the one constant with my heart, even when my doggy transitioned, oh my gosh, I wailed like a baby. And that was, I think that was like 4 years ago, no, 3 years ago, 3 or 4 years ago. And, but the one consistent thing that kept coming up over and over again, and I noticed it, was that my heart kept cracking open with every anguish cry, saddened cry. My heart was expanding. And Kiva was really instrumental in reminding me, they're showing you how much love you are. You are love. We are love. And that's why the pain, when it comes and it hits and it feels like my heart is broken, because it is. It's being cracked wide open so that greater expansion of who you are is revealed. And that's why you hear a lot of times people will say, I've been on this journey since the transitioning, passing of my child, and I never knew that I could love so deep. And I never knew that I really cared about certain things that I thought I didn't care about. You know, I'm taking on new hobbies, I'm doing this, I'm taking classes, I'm becoming a nurse, I'm becoming a doctor, you know, and that's what's going on. And that is a part of our journey on this planet. That's part of our process. Do we like it? No. We really want to have our soul family and friends hang out with us for the entire duration, and we'll all hold hands and transition together up into the atmosphere. Wherever we're going, we're going to do it together. And honestly, and the beauty of it all is that we can still do that. We can still do that. What do I mean about that? Your relationship is now transformed. It now looks different. You're being asked from your soul, can we access other parts of ourselves to see? They're no longer physically here. Can we access other parts of ourselves to see the truth and to remember, is this the only way that we see through the physical eyes? Is this the only way that we feel through the physical touch? Is this the only way? Is there something even more expansive? And your soul says, yes, yes. And as you do that sit that I talked about in the morning or at nighttime, whenever you feel like you just get to have a conversation with yourself, every time that you do that, that strengthens that muscle of transformation. It strengthens that muscle of remembering. It strengthens the muscle to be able to see in ways outside of your physicality and to know that it's not woo or weirdness, to know that it's natural. It's who we are. We're ever expansive souls, expressions of that divine love. Your children, ever expanding, ever transforming, just like you. And the good news is that means that relationship is going to the next level. That relationship with your children is a constant. Is Kiva with me, talking to me all the time? No. You know why? Because I know that she and I are a team and that at any moment that I call, she's right there. I don't need her with me. And this is just for me personally. I don't need to be in constant contact with her 24/7 anymore because I know who I am. I know who she is. And I know that I can sit at this table here and I can just be like, hey, let's have a conversation. And poof, there she is. You know? And she's just like, Mom, you go get whatever you got to get done. And I'm like, okay. And sometimes I feel her. And I'm just like, girl, go on, do what you need to do. Because now she comes to me. She doesn't come to me as a baby. She comes to me in her early 20s. And I always say they come to you at the age that you are open to experience them or you believe them to be. And I guess that's why sometimes people say forever, forever. And there's different reasons why people do forever. I never say forever 5 months because I know there is infinite possibilities going on here. And I know that, here, let me tell you something, secret. Oh, I should have turned my light on. Is it getting dark in my screen? Because the sun's starting to go down. Okay. Okay, the secret. It's not really a secret, but here's the deal. Nobody knows. That's why we lean in on our signs. That's why we lean in on our communication. That's why we lean in what some of the ancient sages have told us and some, other organizations and groups have told us. Because when they speak or when we speak with ourselves, our heart just warms up, or we get the goosebumps, or we get the chills, we get the confirmation. Receive the confirmations, because in that moment of your life, that's what you're deserving to experience, to express. And I'm just listening. That's why I pause. We're quick to speak and slow to be silent and slow down. And I think it's amazing that nobody really knows. What I do know is that we are expressions of divine love. I know that we are energy, and energy never dies. I know where there's love, there is life. I know that anytime I have a doubt about anything, I can sit quietly, choose to consciously breathe, and the answer comes very softly. Usually it's pretty quiet. This is why we sit in the silence. It's in the stillness and in the silence that the Creator speaks, that your soul speaks. This is the place. So when I hear people say, I can't feel them, I can't hear them, I can't da 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 da, Everything else aside, all the stuff about your energy, your frequency being low, that's why you can't feel, you can't all that aside, in any instant moment that you decide to get still and quiet and make a request, you will receive your perfect answer in that moment, your insight in that moment. I promise you. And it could be 10 minutes after you finished and it was just quiet and nothing came through. And you walked outside 15 minutes later and it's in your face. You like my animation? I'm East Coast. I live on the West Coast now, but I promise you, every answer that you seek for yourself is readily available to you at any given moment. Okay, no matter where you're vibing, no matter where you're vibing. Now, will we say do whatever works and will assist you to raise your energy and support you in vibing high? Absolutely. Why not? Be in the joy of it all. You know, grief and joy are cousins, and they don't always get along until they do. Until they do. Okay, that's a beautiful thing to remember. And oh my goodness, you sure I don't need to turn on that light? I'm looking like I need to. The sun
You
is
you look beautiful as always, but you're welcome to turn on the light. And
turned on
I
my
just
candle. And for those
love
people that are watching this recording later on, this is how we do it. We just keep it real. We make weird remarks and say stuff, and we keep it real, and that's how we do it. Yeah. Yeah.
so we have Colleen saying, I like that grief and joy are cousins. Isn't that beautiful? So it's true that obviously this period of time that we go through after having a child transition
Mm.
is so difficult for all of us, but at the same time, it's filled with so much joy because it's so wonderful to be able to remember our kids and to think about them. In fact, it's almost difficult not to turn them into living legends, right?
Mhm.
But it's also important to understand that we're growing all the time, as you say. So having a child transition, I would never ever have believed that I would have been interested in learning about the afterlife or um, learning about where my kids in spirit are before they transitioned. And then as soon as Morgan did, that's all I wanted to do. But I had this a similar experience as you did with Kiva, where I shared his passing. And I think that that set both of us on this path fairly quickly. I think we were both really fortunate because of that, because sometimes it's very, very hard. So when we have people, I'm sure that there are people on here and people who will be listening to the video as well, who are deep in their healing process and who are not able to receive those signs. I was just thinking this dancing that you were doing was a great way to be able to shake off everything that you need to be able to get in a place where you're able to hear your kids. Because obviously we have them with us all the time. Those orbs are so, it's so evident through those orbs. But do you have other advice? Because not everybody can sit in the silence and meditate. That is just a very, very difficult thing for so many people. But maybe you can tell us about other ways that people
Yeah.
can connect with their kids.
So let me be crystal clear about this. It is imperative that you sit with yourself. It is actually one of the simplest ways to make connection. Of course, I've got other ways as well. You notice I never called it meditation. That was intentional. Let's do this. Everyone that's on this call right now, put your left hand over your heart and your right hand over your left hand. And just close your eyes and just take a couple of breaths. Now I want everyone to open their eyes. Okay, we're looking at one another, right? When was the last time you took the time to literally listen to your heartbeat? To just acknowledge all of the blood that is pumping in and out of those, what do they call them? The things, the vessels, just all that.
Arteries. Yeah.
Arteries, thank you. Da, da, da. When was the last time you took to listen to your heartbeat? That little 20-second thing that we just did, that's sitting in the stillness. So this belief, because again, remember now, I'm coming to you from one of many realities. So from the one of many realities, this belief and this conversation that we tend to have with ourselves of, I can't sit, I don't meditate, it doesn't work for me, it's not well. There's no shade or judgment in that at all. From this one reality, we're saying to you, let's give this a shot. Let's actually do it. So for 20 seconds, you literally sat with yourself and you listened to your heartbeat, which this morning, how many of you did that? Exactly. That's called sitting in the stillness. Movement, being out in nature, just walking, but being conscious of your walk. In the season of our lives with so much going on top of the fact that we have children that have passed and transitioned, on top of that, and then you've got life going on all around us, it's imperative, if you so choose to come full front, conscious, still with yourself, be your best friend, really like you, really love on you, really show up for you in such a way that if everybody around you didn't tell you they loved you, you would still be good because you knew that you had you. And with you having you, your children have you. And with you having you, Source has you. And with you having you, Divine Love has you. And with you having you, come on now, infinite possibilities. Infinite possibilities. And when I was experiencing that and the orbs and the dancing and all of that, I literally went into a place of, please assist me because my heart is hurting. I miss him. I know he's okay. I know that he's good. Because as soon as I found out that he had transitioned, this is my friend, he showed up like laser. Here I am. Songs that he loved, the songs were coming on. I mean, it was like laser. And how was I able to receive that quickly? Because of the work I did with Kiva, the work I did with my brother, see what I'm saying? And so I was able to notice it a lot faster. And then that night I just heard, turn on the music and dance. And I was in my office, I was here, down here, and I couldn't stop dancing. And I danced my way up to the bedroom because I wanted to wash my face, but I couldn't stop dancing. And then my husband caught me on camera. Any questions out there? But simply, here's the deal. I know the world says it's not simple. It's not easy. I know it's challenging. I know firsthand experience. It's challenging. Everyone's in a different timeline of what's going on in their. I really want you to hear me and to hear me very clearly. Grief was never meant to be a life sentence. Because love is the source of all things and all people and everything. And love is infinite and love is eternal. And that grieving process is part of our expansion, our growth. And even if you don't want to hear it, a month from now, these words will come to you and you'll be like, ah, ah, ah. I get why she said that. I was pissed when she said it, but 30 days later, whoa, something got planted in my heart. So what I ask is keep your hearts wide open and let what works for you and what gets to settle on your heart, let it settle on your heart. You don't have to do anything with it. And anything else that doesn't resonate with you, what did we say? This is just one of many realities
That's
that's speaking
beautiful.
to you, speaking to you.
So there are people saying things in the chat box. Jessica, everything that you were saying about sitting in the silence, she said, we haven't been able to listen to music or watch TV since our daughter passed 6 months ago. Now I am realizing part of us might know we need to sit in the silence, which is a beautiful way of thinking. And I just wanted to read that. Also,
Beautiful.
Lisa Wilcoxon has let us know that tomorrow is International Meditation Day. So we all need to get out and meditate, but it doesn't have to be sitting in the silence. It could be walking in the silence. It could be a moving meditation. And I truly believe that hiking to the top of each of these mountains around me here, putting one foot down and saying grateful, and the other foot saying healing.
Yeah.
Grateful. No, that's anyway, I think that those kinds of things can
Yeah.
also happen. But let's see, I'm just looking to see if there are any questions because if anybody has any questions, please let us know. But it's always so wonderful to have you here, LaVonne, because you're so uplifting and it's so much fun to listen to your words of wisdom about moving forward and healing. And again, tomorrow, let's all remember to meditate.
And I was
And
going to say something about a brilliant teacher. She's since passed, and she would say meditation is simply focus, relaxation, and oh, what was it? Breath. So the breath, relaxation, and focus. And the focus could be as simple as taking the garbage out, because all you're going to do is focus on taking the garbage out. The walking meditation, all you're doing is putting one foot in front of the other. That's a meditation. We put all these words on stuff, and the words, it's a point of reference. It's beautiful. But the bottom line is the requests from the souls that are saying what they're saying is, can you come full present with yourself in such a way that anytime there is something coming up for you that you deserve additional support and insights into, you can receive it and you can hear it, you can feel it, you can know it. And I wanted to let everybody know, Elizabeth, that on May 30th and the 31st, it's May 30th in the evening for 2 hours, and then Saturday the 31st, I am actually doing a workshop online because we have people from all over that want to attend, and I'd like to do them in person, but this one came calling through Source. And of course, the title is Grief Was Never Meant to Be a Life Sentence, and love, 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 love. And so so if anybody would like additional support, would like to sit in that, we get a little bit more, let's just say, if you're in a good place with the process of your loved one your child that has transition, it's for you. If you're not in, if it's still quite the challenge for you, this is for you. If you're looking at seeing things from a whole different perspective, I see Lisa smiling there because she knows it's for you. And yeah, I'm pretty excited about it because I already feel people gathering and stepping into that space. But this is going to be one of those workshops where it's very experiential. We will be going in and out of the stillness. We will be going in and out of making connection with yourself first, and then connecting with whomever else you choose to connect with. We're going to show you and take all the woo out of it and show you that this is natural. There's nothing supernatural about the natural. And we're going to go higher, because a lot of times the children are asking us, come up a little higher. Just come up a little higher. Come up a little higher in your thought, in your heart, and in your connecting. So,
Yes,
and
raising your vibration is really important. And it's so interesting when you ask us to take those breaths. It's something that a lot of people don't even do one time during the day. And a lot of times it's very painful right after having a child transition to take that breath. But being able to open your lungs and therefore open your heart is something that is so helpful. Our breath is our power. Our
Mhm.
breath is what guides us through this life, and being able to breathe in and breathe out at least a couple times a day and just consciously remember to do that is another way that we can raise our vibration to be able to connect
Yeah.
with our kids in spirit.
And I always tell people, breathe on the days that you can, because your body will automatically take those extra beautiful, abundant inhales and exhales when you can't. Yeah, I remember being wiped out. Oh, yes.
Yes. So we need,
LoveOnAwareness.com.
okay, yes. Love
LoveOnAwareness.com.
awareness.com is
Yeah.
the website for LaVonne if you're interested in attending her workshop, which will be on the 30th and 31st of May. And
It'll be amazing. I can't tell you. Oh, by the time I do this, because by the time it's done, we have laughed so hard, cried so hard, laughed some more, and it's phenomenal, y'all. That's all I can tell you. It's phenomenal what happens and who comes through. So yeah, it excites me.
well, we're excited as well, and we have so many people writing very inspiring. Thank you, LaVonne, as well as thank you so much. I appreciate your inspiration. Thank you for the uplifting messages tonight. So I just want everyone to understand and realize that LaVonne is one of us, obviously, just as Lisa is one of us, and they understand that it isn't easy to move forward and heal. But once we start healing, it's almost impossible to stop. It's kind of like this momentum that we get that is just so exciting. And meeting all the new people and the wonderful things that are brought into our lives thanks to our kids is really amazing. So Lisa's saying, you're wonderful, Yvonne. This is Liza. Actually, I'm sorry. Thank you. Bunny saying, my soul needed this. Thank you. So anyway, I really would love for people to be able to unmute and just say good evening to you if you would like to, and then also thank you, and thank you, Lisa, for being here with us as well. Thank you, LaVonne, for coming to speak
And
to
I
us
want
this
to just
evening.
tell everybody, you're doing amazing no matter where you're at. No, hear me. Hear me. You are doing phenomenal with the emotion, with the not wanting to have the emotion, with the whatever you're experiencing right now, I want you to hear me. You're doing phenomenal work. This work is not for the, you know, you're doing amazing. And your children are cheering you on. They're cheering you on. And I just want to know, I just want you to know how much I love you. And I thank you for taking out time to be with you this evening.
Thank
So
you. It's been wonderful. And I'm babysitting a little puppy tonight that belongs to one of my daughters. So he's actually mine too, but this is Loki. So he's saying good evening as well. But he was just getting up. I think he's ready to go out. So thank you again, everyone. You're welcome to unmute and say thank you if you'd like to.
Thank you.
Thank
thank
you.
Thank you,
you.
LaVonne.
Thank
Good
you.
night, everybody.
Thank
Thank you
you,
so much.
LaVonne.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Alyssa.
Thank you.
Have a wonderful
Thank you.
evening. Thank you,
Thank
LaVonne.
you.
We'll talk to you
Thank you so
soon.
much.
Bye.
Have a great
Bye. Bye.
rest of the day. Take care. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye
Bye.
bye.